A number of years ago, I was 2 weeks into a new job working for this biotech company, and they fired me. Yeah, so I was feeling under the weather one day, and I didn't show up to work. And my teammates, I thought, were all away at an event. So I was lazy and I didn't say anything. And then the next day, there I was packing up my stuff and headed for the door. Now, what happened here? How did this happen? Well, for one thing, I screwed up. You're not supposed to do that. Not show up to work and not tell anybody. Very uncharacteristic of me. Why did I do that? And then why did they let me go so quickly? Well, I hated it there. I was miserable. I can't even tell you, 2 weeks in and I couldn't stand it. Not only was it an hour-long commute from San Francisco to Sunnyvale, but these guys, they acted like I was invisible. Like I was hired for my skills and experience and talents and all this stuff. And for the first 2 weeks, I'm invited to all these meetings with my manager and with my teammates. Do you know how many times I was actually acknowledged over the course of that day? 0. And not only that, but I started to learn early on that there was something weird about this company. Like, the culture was bizarre. You know, we'd get these emails from the CEO, and it was always, we gotta go for it, guys. We're gonna change the world, and I want genius out of everybody, and you guys gotta hit your targets, and blah 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 blah. You know, like intense. And initially, the first time I saw one of those emails, I thought, oh wow, this is cool. This guy's fired up. But as time went on, I realized, and since being fired, I fully realized and appreciated that that place was toxic. All right? It wasn't just me that wasn't enjoying it. I'm pretty sure nobody was enjoying it. So I share this story with you as a cautionary tale, right? Don't leap before you look. This is a really common problem for people. They're really impressed by a company's website, the recruiter saying all these nice things, the hiring managers really telling you how awesome this place is, and then you get the offer, and you're like, whoa, that's a lot of money. I got a great offer, and the stock I thought was going to be worth a fortune someday. I'm not sure if it was, but I thought it was. So when I got the offer, I'm like, this is amazing. Oh, yes, I can't wait to work for this incredible company, blah, blah, blah. But the reality was a very different story. Very different. And, I posted something yesterday on this topic because it keeps coming up. You know, people keep sharing their own stories with me of, yeah, Adam, I was sold a bad bill of goods too. I'm 6 months into this company, and I gotta get out of here. It's bad. Now, how awful is that? It is not pretty. So, if that's you, do something about it. And also remember what it takes to avoid this in the future. I had a call with a client earlier today who set up 6 informational interviews with potential employers, which are informal phone calls, in her case with other account executives, to find out, hey, what's it like to work there? Is there a good culture? Do you like your boss? Are people hitting their numbers? And she got some real feedback. And based upon that feedback, she's not pursuing some of those. She could tell those aren't good companies. And it's interesting, too, because she's also going through some interviews with companies where the recruiter's telling her, this company's amazing, you're going to love it here, we've got this new office, and blah, 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 and this and that. Well, what's the real story? Because another thing I want to share with you guys, especially with tech companies and in sales, you have to look behind the scenes. Talking to people is really, really important, but also understanding the numbers, the finances, the investors. If a company is on a round of Series F, if you go to crunchbase.com and it says Series F or Series E or anything past D, you have to be very skeptical. Why does this company need so much cash to be infused in the business? And also be mindful of what happens when a company gets a big cash infusion. I worked for a startup company for 3 years that got a $10 million round, and then a $12 million round, and then a $45 million round. Well, every time they got that round, what do you think they did? They hired a ton of salespeople, they increased the quotas, they chopped up the territories, and everyone got a little bit crazy. Because now there are these unrealistic expectations that filter down from the investors to the CEO, CFO, sales leaders, etc., etc. And that's something that everybody feels the pinch of. So whenever you're evaluating a company, especially for a tech sales role, but just in general, check them out on Crunchbase. Did they just get a big round? And how many rounds have they gotten? Right? Because everything filters down from that. Right? You want to follow the money. And be skeptical if a company is telling you, oh yeah, everything's amazing, we just got this big round and brand new office and all this stuff. Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of expectations attached to that money, and you as the salesperson will in fact feel that. You're responsible for paying back that big round of money that they just took in a weird indirect way. So that's it. That's my nugget for the day. Look before you leap. Do your research. Check out the funding on crunchbase.com and approach any interview with skepticism and a grain of salt. Take everything people say with a grain of salt. Thanks, guys.